Hello everyone, and thank you very much first of all for joining me in this tutorial. So in this one we are going to talk about a process with the help of which you can connect your Amazon S3 bucket with a Lambda function which will trigger automatically for the event which will get executed in this bucket, and the logs of which you'll be able to see in the CloudWatch console. Right, so how to connect Lambda function, S3 bucket and CloudWatch all together, right? That's what we are going to talk about in this video, right? But first of all, before diving into this tutorial, I would like to show you the kind of playlists I have on my channel at present, right? So if you'll come on my channel here, you will see number of playlists which I've created for you guys. So there are cloud computing based projects which I'm shooting currently. Right, then there are app hosting based projects which you can check out in this playlist. There are 140 different types of Python projects which you will find over here in this playlist. So if there are 140 videos, it means there are 140 different types of Python projects which you can learn from. 92 different types of full stack development projects, whether you talk about Django, React Native, anything. Artificial intelligence projects are there, Django projects, KVMD projects for mobile application development. Then there are a number of other playlists which I have on my channel, which is going to give you a real solid practical experience of web application as well as mobile application development. There is machine learning, PHP based tutorials also present on my channel, as you can see. So just come and check out these tutorials and see what all things you can get from these tutorials. And in case you find anything missing, let me know in the comment section below. I will be happy to help you guys out. So let's close this window and dive into the Amazon S3 environment. So here I'm going to create a bucket first. How I access this environment? You have to simply type here bucket. Okay, and this is what you'll get to see. Okay, come on S3 and then you can click on create bucket. So what is a bucket? It is basically a storage space where we can store images, files, folders, anything that you want. So basically it's a type of C drive, D drive which you have on your device. You can assume it as it's a drive. Now we need to give a bucket name. So here I'm going to give this a name as Gaurav bucket. Okay, and then we need to come down and rest everything. We can go with the default, come on create bucket and simply create it. Okay, so it says that bucket with the same name already exists. No problem, we can make it something else. So let's make it Sham bucket. This is something which exists. How about this? Sham bucket. Okay, this is a unique one, I think. Let's create the bucket by hitting the create bucket button. So we have created a bucket successfully. Right, let's come inside this bucket and see if we have anything. So it's completely empty right now. Okay, as you can see. Now we have to come on Lambda function. How you'll come on this console? Let me help you with that too. So here you have to simply type Lambda. Okay, and this is what you'll get to see. Now click on Lambda and this is where you will find the button with the help of which you can create a Lambda function. Create a function and then choose this option or author from scratch. Here you have to write the name of the function. So Sham function. The Sham bucket is the name of my bucket. Sham function is the name of my function. Here I'm going to choose a runtime, so we'll write a Python script. That's the reason I'm going to go with the 3.9 because it is 3.9 which is there installed on my device also. So that is the reason I'm going with 3.9. If you want to go with the latest one, there is no harm in it. You can go with this 3.12 also. Okay, let's come down and hit this create function. So we've created a Lambda function successfully now. Okay, it's still rolling. Maybe it's getting created right now, but it will get created successfully. Now, once you're done with creating the Lambda function, the next thing that comes is giving it permission so that it can communicate directly with S3 bucket. Now, how to do that? So for that, you can come on this IAM console. Okay, here you have to type IAM, and that's where it will redirect you to access management. Fine. And you have to come on, just a second. Yeah. So it's identity and access management. Then you have to come on rules. Okay. Here you have to create a new role. But before creating that, just check whether a role based on this function that you have created already exists in this list or not. So as you can see, I created a Lambda function some while back with name Sham function, and this thing, right, this role has automatically come here. So once you're done with creating the Lambda function, you'll see a role based on that name automatically listing up over here in this list, right? So you have to click on that name, come down, and here you can you can add the permissions. So come on, add permissions and attach policies. Then you have to, so here you have to type Amazon S3 full access. Okay, you have to look, you have to search for this one. Just select it and add the permissions. So now what will happen, all the types of buckets that you will create here in this bucket section, this Lambda function will be able to interact with them. Okay, this will be able to communicate or link with those buckets, right? That's the reason we use this policy for. Let me show you the inside of this policy so that you guys can also come to know about it. It is S3, as you can see, and then S3 object Lambda. So it can communicate with all the types of Lambda objects, S3 Lambda objects, right? And here, as you can see in this resources, we have asterisk, right? So you can create as many buckets as you can and as you want, and then with the help of this Lambda function, you can easily connect to them. Okay, so after this third step, what is the next one? You have to come in this Lambda function, and then you have to add a trigger. Now, why is this trigger required? So what I want is, when I upload an image in this S3 bucket, automatically a script should run. Okay, this is the script which I would like to run. I will explain it to you line by line, what all we have in this script, so don't worry about it. And I'm going to share this script in the comment section also, so that you guys can also use it. So what I want is, whenever the user uploads a new image, this script shall get executed, which should create a log in this CloudWatch, okay, and tell the name of the uploaded image in the logs, and also the existing images present in the bucket. For example, if suppose there are 3 images, image 1, image 2, image 3, and out of these 3, there are 2 images, image 1 and 2, which are already present in this S3 bucket, and now you upload image 3. So in this CloudWatch, in the log section, I should be able to see image 3 uploaded as a new image, image 1 and image 2 as an existing image. So that's what this function does. But for executing this Lambda function, we need to create a trigger. Okay, so add trigger, you have to click. Now, what thing you want to trigger? So I want to trigger the upload functionality, which will happen on S3. So we need to select S3 here, and then we can select the bucket name. So this is the one which I just created, and this is what you'll have to select in the event types. If it is by default selected, it is fine. Otherwise, you can simply tick mark it. There are other options also that you can select from. So there is put, there is post, there is copy. But for now, we can go with this all object create event. So whenever you'll create a new object, an event will get created, and that event will trigger this thing, and then our Lambda function will get executed and the logs will get generated in this CloudWatch. Okay, let's add the trigger. So basically, because of this trigger, the CloudWatch will show us the logs. Let me refresh it once. Okay, so right now, as you can see, there is no log group. Okay, there is nothing in this log group. Now what I have to do is just a second. Yeah, So we can come down in this script. Let's go through this script line by line first, and then I'm going to show you how can we put this script in AWS Lambda S3, and how can we get this executed, and then how can we get the logs in CloudWatch. Okay, so we are importing these three modules first: JSON, Boto3, and logging. JSON, you guys already know, it's for converting JSON data into JSON format, and if you have something in JSON, you can convert it back into the other format. Boto3 is AWS SDK, AWS Software Development Kit, with the help of which you can interact with the AWS services like EC2 instances or S3 bucket, DynamoDB, anything. Logging is something with the help of which you can log the details of the event, okay, which will get executed. Now here with this line, we are creating a client. Okay, we are creating a Boto3 client. Then with the help of this, we are setting up a logger, which is going to help us in logging the details of the event which will get executed. Now there is this function called Lambda handler. So the moment the file will get uploaded in the S3 bucket, an event will get created, and from that event we'll pull the bucket name and the name of the object. Okay, object key here refers to the name of the object. For example, if you are uploading an image, it will have a name, right? So that name will come over here in this object key. Then we have this logger info. So object key is going to be the new image's name. So we are simply printing it over here like new image uploaded and then image name. And then there is a function named list images in bucket, to which we are passing the bucket name. So let's come down here in this list images in bucket, and here as you can see, it's a parameterized function where we are passing the bucket name as a parameter. Then we are checking the object's name present in the bucket, and then what we are doing, we are creating an empty list in which we are appending the names of all the objects present in the bucket. So whatever is initially present in the bucket before uploading a new image, all those images name will come down over here in this image list, and that's what this function will return to us finally over here. So in this existing images, we'll get the existing names of all the existing images, and in this over here we'll get the name of the new image, right? And then we are returning this finally. Okay, so status code 200 and logged recently uploaded image. Okay, so this is what we have in this code over here. Now I'm going to simply copy this code and put it in our AWS Lambda. So you need to come down here in this code section, and now here you can simply paste this code like this. Okay, once you're done with pasting the code in this lambda underscore function.py file, you need to hit this deploy button so that you can deploy the code. Okay, so it will replace the existing code. Fine, if you'll not do this, this code will not work. Okay, the existing code, which is by default in this lambda function.py, will get executed again and again by the interpreter. So now we have replaced the code. Let's come down, and here you see this runtime settings. So we are we are having lambda function.lambda handler over here. Why we are having this? Because we have this file called lambda function, inside which we have this function called lambda handler. That's the reason we need to mention lambda function.lambda handler over here. Now if your function is of a different name and here you have a different file name, so what you have to do, you have to basically come on edit, and here you have to change the name of the file and the name of the function. So if suppose your file name is example and the name of the function is Gaurav, so here it will come as example.Gaurav. Okay, that's it. For now, I'm going to keep it as default only. Rest everything we can keep as default. Okay, everything looks fine. Now we are done with setting up a pipeline. Okay, with the help of which if we'll upload anything in this bucket, automatically this function will get triggered, and then we'll be able to see the logs over here in this CloudWatch. So at present it is completely blank, as you can see. Right now we are going to upload an image in this S3 bucket. So we can click on upload, and here we'll add the file. So this is a file which I'm going to add. So it is with name gaurav.jpg. Let's upload. Let's see what is going to happen. So we have successfully uploaded the image. Let me close this window, and here you can see the image is there now in the S3 bucket. Now we have to come in this CloudWatch and give it a refresh. Let's see what's going to happen, whether we'll be able to see any kind of logs or not. Okay, so we are able to see a log over here, log group over here. Let's come inside it, and here we have this log. Let's come inside it, and we can see something over here, some logs over here. So that's what we have to check, logs with starting with info. So if I click here, it says uploaded Gaurav JPG, new image. And if I click here, it says all images in the bucket. So there is only one image, which is Gaurav.jpg. That's the reason it is showing us only the name of one image. Let's come back on this S3 bucket. But before that, let me close this, and I'm going to resume it so that, it keeps checking the event, right? Triggering of the event. So right now there is nothing happening, right? Now the moment I upload another file, you will see some logs getting generated over here. Let me show it to you quickly. So I'm going to add another file over here, max default, and upload. Succeeded. Let's come down, and we will have to wait for that event to get triggered. Okay, nothing happened till now. Okay, so we have some logs now, right? Earlier there were 2 infos, now we have 2 more infos. Click on the first one, new images, max rest default. This is perfectly fine, and we have the names of all the existing images also present in the bucket. So that's how you can make use of CloudWatch for logging purpose, logging the event triggers and all. And this is how you can set the IAM rules so that you can let your Lambda function connect to your S3 bucket. So that is it from my side in this lecture. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye bye, take care, and have a great day, guys.